Alright, today we're going to talk about Pokemon the only way that makes it not sus. We're going to be discussing Pokemon cards as an asset class. That's right, folks. Just like crypto or gold or stocks, we have now lived in a reality where these pieces of cardboard with cute animals on them are an asset class of their own. And you might be thinking that they're like any other collectible card, but I'm going to correct you in a second. Let me just explain why I'm right. So pretty much, this is an asset class built around two things: nostalgia and scarcity. Nostalgia because Pokemon has been a thing for kids ever since 1999 when I was 9 years old, and has continued to be a thing for kids every year since then. They have done so many of these things, and kids get to not only pick their own favorite starters, but they get to go back through time and see their other favorites. And the Pokemon Company knows this, and they bank on that nostalgia whenever they want to make money. Not that they need any money. Every single thing they produce makes like hundreds of millions of dollars. It's probably one of Japan's greatest cultural exports, if not economic exports. But the other thing the Pokemon Company does is they tell people who are in the card game to treat it like a resource. Most of the merch that the Pokemon Company introduces is like sleeves or binders or cases or briefcases that have like a handcuff attached to them, or a safe where like you need your own Face ID to unlock it. They're telling you that these things are worth something. They're telling you that you need to go get them so you can protect them, because they are going to go up in price. And guess what? They were right. And you know how they were right is they made that happen. So we're dealing with an asset class that's based in nostalgia and scarcity. Now here's why it's not like other collectible card games, specifically sports. In sports, a rookie card is only as good as the rookie ends up being. If Anthony Edwards doesn't end up becoming one of the greatest athletes alive, which I doubt, the card's not going to be worth as much as if he does. LeBron James's rookie card is only worth something because he's LeBron James. So it's not quite collectible cards, and it's also not quite something like crypto or stocks, even though we'll get back to it in the way it is. But think of it more like Supreme. If the idea of Supreme was not to wear it, but to like put it in a penny sleeve and put it away somewhere. That's kind of what makes these two things so different in my mind, even though people do compare the hype cycle of Pokemon to Supreme, is that Supreme was made to be worn, and some of it was corny, but that was kind of the point. Whereas Pokemon is all like fan service of your favorite thing when you were 9, and you have been told that this is like a thing that has value. But like what I just said about crypto also holds true in the Pokemon world. There was just a case of a Drowsy that went up from like $30 to $80, back down to $30. So clearly there's some kind of market manipulation at play. Who knows if it's a Discord or just a group chat or a subreddit or just like 4 guys who have all of the cards. They literally hold all of the cards. There's also a really good breakdown of this by Peter Day on TCG Player Infinite, and he talks about how Pocket broke the market for real Pokemon cards. I don't necessarily agree with that, only because if he's right, we'll see a decline as people stop being interested in the app inevitably, but I don't necessarily think that that's going to happen. Plus, the 30-year anniversary is just around the corner, which he does talk about in this. I think the value and the reason this is its own asset class is that kids who have known crypto their whole lives, right? Like we're talking like 13-year-olds who were like not born in 2010. They are coming into something that's tangible and real. This is not just a bar graph on their phone. However, there are also things that do plot the value of your cards as a bar graph on your phone to make it look like Ether, which I need to go up. Please, Ether, go up. If you can hear this algorithm, please make Ethereum go up. There's also value in like every single level of these cards. It's not just the cards themselves. People have sealed boosters that they hold on to, ETBs, special ETBs from the Pokemon Center. It's not just the cards themselves that have like significantly increase how much of it you can collect. Don't even get me started about the hollows, okay? A Master Ball hollow isn't aesthetically pleasing, more or less, than a Pokeball hollow, but the price difference is nuts. But if you're thinking about getting into this and watching this video as a result of it, my best advice is to just do it. Like, there's no other real way to learn but to just experience it. You can buy sealed product, you can go to card shows, you can actually like make a career out of finding raw cards that you have an expert eye for seeing the borders of, and then doing a bulk shipment to PSA to see how much more money you can make by just having slabs. You can become a slab guy. You can become a sealed products guy. You can become any kind of guy in this hobby that you want. And while like most of the Pokemon fans that you encounter are like your stereotypical mouth breathing, BO having nerds, there are some cool people in this hobby, even though they're few and far between. But that's also not a reason not to do it. There's like losers in every hobby. Would you rather have some guy who's never left his mom's basement or some like alcoholic with 3 kids and no wife arguing with you over whether or not the Leafs are going to win the cup this year? They are. A really good guy to actually look into if you're interested in looking up content and like researching Pokemon as an asset class is Deep Pocket Monster. I think he's on YouTube and Instagram, but he pretty much buys these boosters at card shows that are like $100 sealed and then opens them. And like oftentimes the cards are not worth what the booster was worth. So there's more value in the sealed product. If you have an extra like $1,000 sitting around, it almost makes more sense to go buy some Pokemon products and wait a year when Pokemon turns 30 to than to like invest it in crypto or the stock market because who knows what's even happening with the world. Like, do you know what your government is doing? I barely do. Like, I don't know what the long-term plan here is. I don't know what's going to happen to stocks or crypto, but I know that tangibly Pokemon cards that are in my hand are real and they have cute pictures on them and they remind me of being 9. So that's why you should invest in it. Like, you could also come at this from a very cynical way and talk about how it is a type of gambling to like rip boosters and make content around that type of stuff. That's just like encouraging people to only try to get winning lottery tickets and by buying a booster. Sure, you can look at it that way. You could also kind of look at Pokemon Company as being nefarious because if they were doing this type of market manipulation with anything other than pictures of cute Pokemon, people would be pretty upset. But that's just like the cynical you speaking. You need to look at this from the positive way. Hop into the hobby. Look at Pokemon as an asset class because it is a unique one. It's the only one that I can think of that's built around nostalgia and scarcity. Like I said, crypto, stocks, gold, they all go up, they all go down. Except gold, which only seems to go up. But similar to gold, Pokemon cards are sold at Costco. So get in your car, drive over there, and fight whoever's in line to make sure you can get the most of them. Then just leave them in storage. Price only goes one way, folks. To the moon. To the Lunatone.